Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shedding crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Reece's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shedding crew, born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shedding crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Reece's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shed and crew, born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue, through the silence and the roar. Still blue, even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shed and crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Reece's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shed and crew, born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still up to the chance. Paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue.
All right. Yes, people, welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. I do hope you're all doing well. Today we will dive into Chelsea's packed September schedule under Enzo Maresca, from Bayern München to Manchester United, Brighton, Benfica, and Lincoln City. Chelsea have a busy month. The games will be coming in thick and fast. Rotation is important, but we'll look at those teams that we'll be playing against and talk about how best to play against them to ensure we get good results. The big question is, how many wins can Chelsea get out of these 5 remaining games for the month, with stars like Cole Palmer, Enzo Fernández, Moisés Caicedo, Reece James leading the charge for us. I think I have high hopes, but I mean, the game is played over 9. Each of them will be played over 90 minutes plus added time. No telling what's going to happen, but we'll look at insights and see what we can learn from them. We will break down the fixtures, look at the squad's current form, who's fit, who's out, and get your predictions on whether Chelsea can make September a statement month. So stick around and please don't go anywhere. And more importantly, if you haven't, take a second, drop a like on the video, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Sincerely do appreciate you all. Currently, we have 3 likes. We should be doing a lot better than that. We have 24 people following the show, and if half of you like the video, we'd have at least 12 likes. All right, let me go to the comment section and see what we have there already. And this is Aurorian says, hey to YouTube, big up Kopama. That is Nemaya Fawole, always complaining. Ganacho cost us the game. Okay, if that's how you feel, hopefully you forgive him. Gittins not ready. That I can agree with you. This window 4 out of best. Okay, yeah, that's you. I'm not shocked. Big up to you too, Ankit. Nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. 4 a.m. Settings. Good morning from India. Excited. Yeah, we're back in the Champions League. Yeah. Thank you. I understand the emoji. I do speak emojis too. We need to beat United at Old Trafford. We'll be filming if we're done. Yeah, and that's all you can do. Nothing else. Almighty Producer says, my bro, Ankit, to be more specific there. Last time should have been the jinx breaker at Old Trafford finally, and they got the new manager bounce out of Van Nistelrooy. This time, I don't want us to go into the game with the mindset that, 3 points at the back, then that's a huge risk. And because we have kids, but I think we've matured enough to not take teams for granted. And I've seen the sign that we don't do that anymore. Let's see, what else do we have here? I'm not sure what this guy is saying here. Let's see, which kit are we wearing at Allianz Arena, by the way? Cannot wait. I think probably blue. I don't know. Or maybe the whitish one with the stripes. I'm not sure. Big up to you too, Tamida Olu and Rekami. Nice to see you. It's been like 1,000 years. I'm not saying you're a vampire, by the way, but always nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well, and thank you for finding the time to join the conversation. Thank you. The plan is to first of all go news hunting, a few items there, have some fun with them, and then come back and start breaking down the fixtures, discuss how best to approach to each of the games to get a good result. Let's see. Give me 1 second. All right. The first item, let's see. I'm going to scroll to the very top. Anything new? A few of them, just, because what Chelsea fans would like to see them, like pictures of players. This is one example there. Enzo is ready for the Champions League. Enzo Fernández, one of my favorite Chelsea players right now. I think this one is, former chief and ex-FIFA official Kit Hackett on a Brentford injury time goal against Chelsea. He says he would have appreciated VAR's intervention to check this goal, but we move on. It changes nothing. But I think we need to talk about it a lot, maybe to ensure the referees don't do such things against us anymore. But Nevin Estevor Williams has got every chance of being one of the best in the business. He has the potential, and the fearlessness is what gives me hope that he will most definitely reach his potential. Trevor Chalobah is the highest rated centre back in the Premier League this season. No surprises there. We've followed him since his return from Crystal Palace. You could call maybe premature return because he didn't finish the loan spell there. He was called back prematurely because we needed him, and that has proven to be the right decision because in all honesty, he's one of our best defenders right now. Garnacho in training. What else do we have here? Reece James, it was the best feeling winning the Champions League. Many people did not believe in us at the time, but we did it. The same thing for the Club World Cup. But that winning mentality, you could say, is there right now in the squad. Reece James says, I don't look at all that people say we can achieve anything as long as we understand and believe. Yeah. What else do we have here? Nothing important here anymore. So let's get to discussing. The schedule up here. Let's see, where do I have it? What? Okay, I have to go back to fixtures. Give me a second here. But keep dropping the likes and showing the likes that do go a long way. 5 likes, we can do a whole lot better than that. 26 people following the show on YouTube. If half of you like the video, would have a lot more likes. Give me a second here. It looks like this is taking some time to load. So Dante, while I wait for this to load properly, the question I want to ask you: are you looking forward to the fixtures? Are you concerned? Are you one of those that feel like, would at most get just one win or at most 2 wins from the 5 games? But let's hear you.
Yeah, big up, coach. Big up, everyone in the chat. Victor's here as well. Looks like big up, Victor. Temi Dyer, big up. Haven't seen you for a while as well. Yeah, I'm excited. Big games, a couple of nice big games there for sure. Especially the Bayern Munich, back in Europe, where we belong in the Champions League. So yeah, definitely excited for that game. It's a good test to see where we are. Bayern Munich, really good team. Not that worried about them. Probably only their attack, to be honest. But the rest of the team are not that Bayern Munich of old. So we'll see how we go. But definitely excited to be back in Europe. And yeah, I think we'll definitely get more than 2 wins, in my opinion. Yes, probably 3, maybe 3 wins, a couple of draws, something like that. But yeah, under Maresca, I'm always very confident that we don't lose anymore. A draw is the worst outcome. So let's hope that continues.
Whenever we lose a game under Maresca of late, it's usually down to defensive errors, or you could say because he's human. Sometimes he does make mistakes.
Yeah, look, something new. Like the game we had, he had to rotate some players. He had to put some players in that maybe he wouldn't have put in if what this schedule was coming up. So yeah, look, I heard you saying the other day on the show. I missed yesterday's show that he learns from his mistakes, and he always does.
Really quick, really, and I
He
like that.
very quickly. He always adjusts and makes adjustments and learns and moves on very quickly. So look, like I keep saying, he sees things that people see things differently. He sees things differently at training, and it's not just him; it's his assistants as well because they all have a say in it. So a lot of the decisions are based on that. So yeah, look, I think we'll be just fine.
I think we will be fine. And I did tell people yesterday, the stronger the opposition, the more hopeful I am because the difference, let me just break it down a bit, is that they come at us. They
Correct.
don't
Yeah.
sit back. They want to win, and that makes it easier for us. We tend to struggle against teams that defend deep, and I think we have the tools. We currently do have the tools to navigate such teams effectively. But the truth remains, they do need time, and
They
hopefully
do.
the
Yeah.
manager will learn not to make too many changes per game. So that we don't see disjointed performances like we did see against Brentford. So I'm hopeful, and like I said, he learns quickly, and that gives me hope that we're not going to see a repeat of you could say having 2 newcomers on the left hand side, leading to us not being effective on the left hand side. But he did say something during the post game interview that you could say suggests that he definitely did see that he made a mistake there, and will not repeat that. I think he said something to the effect of not repeating the same mistake he made on the day. But that's by the way. Hey, Dante, he's saying hello to you. Actually, you miss. We do miss you too, brother. But nice to see you again. Hopefully, your absence simply means that you've been busy. And if that's the case, we understand, and we're happy for you because bills don't pay themselves. Hi to you too, Agile and Dekati. Nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. Bobby, before we start looking at the games one by one, the question I want to ask you is this. Are you looking forward to these games? How many wins do you think we'd get? Probably one question I shouldn't have asked you because I know you don't do predictions, but let's just stick with, are you looking forward to these games?
I don't like big up, Coach
Big
Dante.
up, big up, big up to you too, Bobby.
Bobby, bigger Bobby. I thought that was Victor. I said Victor on this and the
Victor was
name.
he was in
But
the
it's
back.
changed to Bobby
He
now.
was he was in the studio, but probably he has a fluctuating internet
Okay.
connection. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Bigger
like that
Bobby.
question. It doesn't make any sense to me. Am I
Mhm.
looking forward to these games? I don't know. How many wins do I expect? Well, I expect Chelsea to win every game they take part in.
Okay.
It's not. It's not something that I think, from my point of view, that I negotiate.
Hmm.
That's why I don't take defeats and silly draws lightly. Yeah, I mean, look, it's gonna be an interesting few weeks, isn't it? It's going to tell a lot as to where we are. 1 minute we looked as if we were prepared to navigate a season. Now, not so much. We look like we've still got the old injury problems that haunted us the past 2 seasons, which we haven't fully shaken off. And Maresca still does some stupid things, some very daft things. For example, playing Fofana against Brentford was a stupid thing, and leaving Achimpong on the bench and doing that. I mean, it made no sense to me whatsoever. And if you wanted to play him, then why not put Achipong in midfield alongside Caicedo to add that physicality and height? But what's done is done. But he needs to stop that now. This isn't a season where we've got an exercise tournament like the Carabao Cup to trial and error, make your errors, make your mistakes, and do a few silly things. This is a big season. This is big boy stuff now. Every match we play is significant. I don't think we're in a position to be throwing away points in the Premier League. And now we've got the Champions League. We're away at the Allianz Arena. We know what to expect there. We've hurt them so badly there. They're not going to ever forgive us, as it were. But now it's up to us. When you do that to teams, you make sure that you remind them of what you did to them. So whenever they see your name, they tremble with fear. Are we capable of doing that on Wednesday? Well, time will tell. It's very, very much down to Maresca and how he lays out his team.
Yeah. This is shocking, really. Samuel Ntiti retired, has retired from international football. How old is he, really? Former French international.
He had a lot of injuries, though, didn't he?
I
Oh,
think more to the injuries. Yeah, it wouldn't be his age.
it wouldn't be okay. Okay, yeah. Unfortunately, he was a
He
good
must have
player, really.
another season-ending injury, and he's probably called it quits.
Yeah.
No, I can understand that. The same issue as the former Arsenal kid, Jack Wilshere. Lots of injuries. He had to run on time. Okay, thank you. Nice to hear. And Rwanda Blue CFC. Good work, brother. Looking forward to Wednesday up the Charles. Thank you so much for taking the time to say that. I appreciate you. I'm guessing this is my friend on Instagram. A lot of collaborations with you, picture collaborations. All doing well. I appreciate you. And I don't know how to appreciate our Ghana, Rwandan followers. A lot they've been sending me a lot of videos on X, on Instagram. Beautiful videos, all of them wearing Chelsea kits top, bottom, singing loud, celebrating. You could argue they celebrated our World Club Cup win more than any other fan base, again, Chelsea fan base in the world. I love them, and I think I will have to find a way to appreciate them. As Stephen Gettins says, the truth is Gettins is not used to the league for now. I don't think I am agreeing with this. I think he probably will take him a bit of time, but I think he will come good. He's equipped to do well. With you can say he needs to bulk up a bit. That's important, but I think those things will come eventually. So he should be a backer for now. Little by little, he will be back to his feet. I think he's going to play a huge part for us in Europe. And Chimera here, nice to see you. I really don't like you, but I'm just going to read your comment. He's on his way to work. I hope you have a good day at work. Just quickly wanting to say Kachila out. Don't get fired. That's all. Like, even if you don't like me, just don't get fired. Victor was here and he's gone. But what was it? I was going to ask you, Dante. This season, you could say we look. Let's say the maturity on some of the games we've from the 4 games we've played. The I don't know if it'd be correct to use the term body language. You could see that we're maturing. We've matured even more than a lot of people had expected us to. And coming back from a goal down, and you don't see them sulk when we concede. It looks like we play better even after conceding. But that brings me to what Bobby said last season: how winning at the Conference League will do the players a world of good. And we didn't just do that; we won the Club World Cup too, plus a finish in the top 4. I think we're a different animal this season, and I'm not concerned. Yeah, we drew against Brentford, but I'm the sort of person that looks beyond the surface to look at reasons why the outcome of the game, you can say, is the way it is, and for you can say solid reasons he had to rotate. But let me ask you about the maturity of the team. Let's hear your thoughts. I think that's one of the reasons why probably you don't fear us losing games unnecessarily. But let's hear you.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you can probably see it in that core group of players. You can see it in Caicedo, obviously. Enzo, Caicedo. You see when Cucurella, for example, came on, Reece James came on the field. Quickly changed the mindset very quickly with those players on the field, and a lot to do with Maresca. Like I keep saying, when we go in at halftime, when he makes some adjustments, he talks to everyone. They sit down with players. They quickly show them stuff, what they need to do. Those adjustments make a big difference. It's no coincidence. At every halftime, when we go in out the second half, we're always much, much better. So, yeah, but definitely the players have definitely got a lot of confidence. And yeah, again, it was on show. Like I said, you saw after the goal, Caicedo celebrating Reece James. You saw Enzo running towards the young Garnacho and congratulating Garnacho that he did well to in the lead up to the goal. So yeah, look,
Whether directly or not, he played a part.
Of course he did. Yeah. He made the run, got the cross in. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It took a deflection. He went to it, but he created that space and got a really good cross in. So, and you can see his excitement when the goal went in from Caicedo. He was just excited, even more excited than Caicedo. So that just shows he's already invested very, very much so. So that just tells you they're taking very good care of him already. So, yeah, look, I think those leaders, they're pretty much there now. We've got those leaders, got that core group of leaders. Even Sanchez at the back as the goalkeeper, he had a very good game, even though
I can't believe I and Bobby, we now praise him.
Well, you have to praise him when the praise is there. You got to praise him.
I mean, he warrants the praise. He
warrants the praise. When he warrants it, he gets it. When he doesn't get it. But I'm talking about more even also in the leadership side. I think you can see him a bit more confident and more with his defenders and with everyone around. Really, a bit more involved, a bit more vocal. I can see him a bit more vocal, so that he's a lot more confidence as well. Obviously, on the back of the Club World Cup, especially. So, he won the Golden Glove there. So, yeah, look, we've built some leaders. Definitely need a couple more to stand up, and then we're in very, very good shape. But that will come. I think those will couple more will stand up throughout this season, 100%, and will only get better and better as this season, especially next season.
Maybe I missed it. What drives your confidence in the team and the manager? Because not just the manager alone. I know you trust the manager. Maybe I missed it. The maturity we're seeing, is it partly why you have confidence in the team?
Yes, and that does stem from the manager because he instilled that into those players. They weren't really those players before that much. He's instilled into those players and shown a lot of confidence in them and really put that hunger in them and that attitude and the way they are. He's really made them into leaders. And how did he do that? Last season, let's not forget early on, a lot of time he called out he came into that dressing room, stamped he didn't want out, the ones in, and he'd made some very hard decisions. He called out Reece James. Let's not forget, he wanted him to be a better captain. Reece James stepped up. Even I was criticizing Reece James a bit, but he's definitely stepped up. You saw that at the Club World Cup. So sometimes you need someone like that to really ignite those players, know what buttons to push, and I think he's done that very well.
He has. I agree. Reese has also changed. The way he speaks doesn't say much, but whatever he says carries a lot of weight. Bobby, I'm coming back to you. I get it. You've made it clear to me, again, on the panel yesterday also and publicly on X, which you have every right to, that we don't have a good squad depth. I mean, to some extent, I'd say yes, because the newcomers aren't properly settled in yet. But if you look at the settled players, old guards, you can call them that, Bobby.
Yeah.
Do you think the old guards, what do you make of the maturity? Do you see them as more mature than we were 2 seasons ago? And does that give you any measure of confidence?
Yeah, I mean, with the
I can't
so-called,
hear you, Dante. I don't know if you can hear Bobby, but I can't hear him.
can you hear me?
I can
Dante,
hear him.
you can hear him?
I can
Okay,
hear
so
him.
just go ahead if you can hear him. No problem.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Okay,
Yeah,
there you
Bobby.
go.
Yeah, I can hear
Um,
you.
yeah, I mean, with the so-called old guard, I mean, of course, after 2 seasons, they would have progressed with the team. For
And with
me,
with the things they've won, right?
yeah, I mean, for me, a very, 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 and you cannot underestimate it, a very important part of anything Chelsea have done in this new era and will do is very dependent sorry, on the consistent presence of Reece James. Reece James is huge for this team, huge. Yes, Caicedo's there. Yes, now João Pedro, and certainly Cole Palmer. But Reece James, gosh, what he does for that team is priceless. Yeah,
I'm just
you got
glad
your
we went quick
Cucurella.
to sell him. The club, maybe the club knew all the while that he had it in him and
No, I mean
decided to be
everybody did.
patient with him.
Everybody did. Everybody knows the quality of Reece James.
Hmm.
It's undeniable. It's just that we were almost at a point where that all these repetitive injuries was, yes, he's a magnificent player, but would the injuries allow him to be that player we all know he is? Now, fortunately, please God, it's currently being managed. But himself, Cucurella, Palmer, João Pedro now, Caicedo, and Neto also, please God, let him stay fit. They are the key of this team. Now, apart from them, you then have a massive drop off. A massive drop off. Yes, Esteval, he's still very young, it's still early days. He looks the part. Let's hope he can sustain that. We've got good follow up with Andre Santos, yes. But on the left, I don't see anything there. And it's a huge concern. And with Asugo, who knows how long he's going to be out injured for, there's a thinness in the midfield, coupled with the poor form of Enzo Fernandez, and a startling lack of height. Um, there are weaknesses there, which doesn't give me any pleasure to say. especially when I look at our competition, who it's very hard to pick out certainly the physical weaknesses that we have. Some people beg to differ. They seem to think we can, limp along with that situation. I'm praying we can, but I don't want us to be in a season of, hopes and ifs and buts and all that sort of thing. I want an emphatic season. When we step out on the pitch, we are a match for anybody and everybody. At the moment, I'm just like, okay, we step out on the pitch and we pray, oh, please, God, let these players be able to go through the 90 minutes. We've got Wesley Fofana. He hasn't played football for a year. I don't know if he'll be ready this season till May, till the end of the season, to be honest. Um, we haven't seen Badiashile. And as for Lavia, your guess is as good as mine. So that so-called squad depth is severely missing. All these guys that are all part of our rotational strength are not fit or not, or totally match rusty. That's my concern for our team this season. Squad
Uh,
depth is very lacking.
all right. I mean, you're entitled to your opinion, and you know my opinion on that. It's not perfect, but I think we're good. Just a bit of time. The newcomers need a bit of time. I think we'll be all right. I think we haven't had a squad depth as good as we have right now for a while. You could say at least 3 seasons in a row. We haven't actually, but I think maybe you need to, maybe anybody that's listening, take a step back, check how many players we have per position and how good they are. Getters, yeah, maybe you could say a mix, not a perfect start to life as a Chelsea player, but Garnacho definitely. Signs are good. If a few minutes that he was on the pitch on the day, I know you said you didn't see it. Okay, that's you, but I did see it, and he contributed to the second goal. But that's by the way, we have what else do we have here? Chimera again, don't lose your job, concentrate. And Cole Palmer here, which is the man for saying Ganacho cost us the game. Okay, if that's how you see it, enjoy. And the Demonat is here. The Demonat says our left wing options last season was Sancho and Mudrik. Okay, as I've said, if anybody thinks we don't have a good enough squad, go take your time, step back, look at how many players we have in each position and how good they are. Yeah, that's me. And the only place I think probably we could have done something differently, the defensive area, and that's it. But even at that, if we can continue defending as a unit, just like we showed mid-season onward, and from mid-season to the end of the season, and in the Club World Cup, I think nobody will actually notice that we were deficient in that in the defensive area. Yeah, if the manager, I don't know, I'm not going to mention because he said something that suggests, yeah, probably the Sansi is not going to get a chance, but you never know. Circumstances can force us to do that. Who knew that Trevor Chalobah would be called back? But that's by the way, just something quickly I saw here. Okay, FIFA have confirmed that starting from next season, the international breaks in September and October will be combined into a single break from September 21st to October 6th. I think that makes more sense than breaking up momentum for teams that are doing well. And the thing remains that the bigger teams like Chelsea, Manchester United, and Manchester City, they suffer the more. The mid-table and bottom-table teams, they don't have a lot of internationals that travel, leading to a breaking momentum for them, just like it does to Chelsea. And the Dume Ono names Chelsea as a surprise team to win the Champions League. Okay. This is a bit of a paradox in some ways because they are in not one, but I think Chelsea are very capable of beating absolutely anyone, driven by the pure understanding of football. But you could say it's not a certainty because football is played, each game is played over 90 minutes plus added time. Then if it's a knockout game, extra time and all that. They are they are World Club Cup champions. I know some people want to disregard that title, but most people thought that PSG side were unbeatable. So I would give Chelsea some credit there. Okay. So this one is something that I'm looking for. I wanted us to talk about this one, Dante. That shows I'm not saying anybody is dumb, but this shows intelligence. This shows foresight, in my opinion. Um on BBC, this is Julian, I'm not sure, is it Balag? Is that how you Julian Balag, how you pronounce his last name? Even his first name, I'm not too sure how you pronounce it. It reads, I think Chelsea are creating something special. And we've always known. Here on Chelsea Perspective, a lot of us have always told people just be patient. The road or the path taken needs patience, but the future is bright. And I've always told people my concern at the time was the immediate future, but the future looks bright, so bright that you need glasses to look at it, not to get hurt, so your eyes don't hurt. So Balag says here, I think Chelsea are creating something special. Remember when their fans were mourning about the team, and a perfect example being some of the biggest content creators that were bashing the owners, bashing the squad, bashing the squad directors after we won the Club World Cup. A lot of them, the same, maybe the ones with should I say backbone, you could say, has some of them had the courage to tender a public apology. What happened? What they didn't see, they were not able to see it at the beginning. They wanted, maybe they're into seeing is believing, but yeah, it got to a point, they saw it, they believed it, now they had to apologize. So this is something some of us saw from time. When too concerned, we did discuss the issues we were having at the time, but at the same time told people, look, we know what we're doing. We're being proactive, and it's for some, and again, in some cases, we try to educate people to let them understand that football has changed from a financial perspective. You don't spend because you have, irrespective of how much you have, there's a limit to how much you can spend. We're being proactive, and I think we're seeing that now. So the second paragraph of his comment reads, the hardest thing is to see the bigger picture when you are a fan. But Chelsea have got youth, direction, a fantastic manager, ambition, and order. In the same position of football PSG are so good at, love their journey to the top. And other people are actually copying our model. But Dante, let's hear you. I want us to discuss this, some of the issues important. You could say fine or good issues that I've seen on Vince's timeline. Your thoughts on this comment? We've always known.
Yeah, coach. Yeah, look, I've been pretty confident in it. I've seen it. I've seen the way they're building and what they're trying to do, and I did back it. Now, was it 100% certain it's going to work? Well, nothing's 100% certain, but there were a lot of very good signs, and we were definitely going in the right direction. I think we would have probably been a little bit more ahead if we've got the manager right. That's probably one thing they did get wrong. I think they had the right intentions, obviously. First of all, we got Potter. He was the hottest thing. Everyone wanted him. All the big teams wanted him, and we went for him. Okay, that didn't work out. The next one, obviously, Pochettino, didn't quite work out. It was again good intentions because he had the resume with a young team, and but unfortunately, his outdated style and etc. And then he wanted to change to what he agreed to, so that didn't quite work out either. So yeah, finally they got the right manager. I think they needed a more young, more actual manager that's very pedantic and very looks at every little detail and goes through it with the players because that's what those players needed. And then, of course, like I said earlier, the way he instills confidence in them and how he backs them as well. So yeah, look, the signs were always good. It was always going to take. I kept saying it was going to take 3 to 5 years. It won't be. It'll take 3 to 5 years, and everyone was
But
losing
you
their
could say
heads.
that we're ahead of time.
Well, look, even Maresca actually said that in a press conference. We are ahead of time from what the owners and what the plan was, what the directors were actually 1 year ahead. All I'm saying is that we probably could have been even a little bit further ahead if we got the coach correct. If they got that coach earlier on,
Early on.
yeah, a little bit better. That would have been, we would have been even much more further ahead now as well. But that's, like I said, it's not easy to do what they did, getting a team, having to, take everyone out,
Mhm.
basically change everyone, bring new players in. It wasn't easy. So it was always going to be a few steps that are not going to be quite right. So obviously off the field financially, I don't think you can really question them financially, to be honest, or business wise. I think they're probably look at it, they're probably the best in the game. So I don't see that's a problem. Selling is not a problem. Buying players is not too much of a problem. Look, it's about getting it right
If
on the pitch
even
now. We've got
again,
the manager.
even during our lowest point, since they took over, we were able to sign some of the best young talents in the world.
And that's why players like, Caicedo, Enzo Fernández, these players, they really need to be backed a lot more because they were here through all that stuff and they're still here and they still want to be here. So those players, especially when I see people, complaining about Enzo Fernandez, and I see so many posts like that guy's, yeah, he was had a big price tag, but he's been through here from the start. He's been all 3 years basically here and gone through all that building and losing and managers, and now he's at his peak, and people are still doubting him and not
He is my
those players.
favorite. He is my favorite Chelsea player. I'm seeing that on
Yeah,
X. Some of them lack of, you could say, lack of looking beyond the games or what your eye test tell you
yeah,
to
yeah.
see that
Look,
actually deep down numbers show he's actually one of our most important player since the start of the season.
not just ours. He's the best central midfielder in the league, basically scoring wise and assisting wise in the world.
Backed
There's no
by
one that's had
numbers.
more than him.
Yeah.
So yes, even stats are backing it up. But yeah, look, he's had a little bit of a slow start the first couple of games, but the last 2 games he's picked it up, and I think against Brentford he was back to his almost his best as well. So yes, he's a human. He's not going to play perfect every game. Not everyone can do that. So yeah, look, we've gone in the right direction. We're building in the right direction. This year is important, but I think next year, from what sort of we heard and what, like I said, what Maresca said, next year is when they're going to go for it a little bit more, as in maybe sign a couple of more players to add to the squad. And I'm talking about players that are probably going to cost a lot of money, but to really try to, go for it from next year on. So we'll wait and see. But look, the signs are good. We can't complain. We're going every year. We've got better, better, and better. And
I mean,
this season was unbeaten.
I'm just gonna stick with I can't complain. People again, we all see things from different perspectives. A lot of people don't believe that's the case. Some just come across as if they just want us to fail. And you two on the panel,
Well, that's the problem.
some of
Most
the
of our
people
big
that I'm
accounts,
mentioning. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, most of our big accounts, and most of those, they want us to fail. Like it after we drew, you can basically see they came back at it like we lost, like we're going to lose every game. They pretty much want us to fail because that means they were right and everyone else was wrong. So yeah, that there is a problem there with that 100%. But I mean, we know who those are and we know who the other people are, so that's fine. Let them complain as much as they want. But yeah, I'm still very optimistic, and I think we've got a great season ahead. We're still unbeaten. It's still early on. Yes, we've got a couple of injuries, untimely injuries, and we have to bet a couple of players in a little bit earlier as well. But I have no doubt we'll actually get better and better as the season goes on, especially those new players. Jamie Giddens, yes, he hasn't started well, but next game against a team like Bayern Munich, those type of teams, when he's isolated one-on-one out wide, that's his bread and butter. So he's made for those type of games. So
And
let's
it's
see
in
what he does in
Germany.
Europe. Exactly, and he's done very well against Bayern Munich in the past as well. So, yes, when we play teams like Newcastle, Aston Villa, all these teams that are a little bit more open play, more expansive football, those wingers that are one-on-one wingers, that's when they shine. And against Brentford, people were saying, "Oh, if we had Madueke and Jackson, we'll win that game so easily." No, 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 no. If we had Madueke and Jackson in that game, probably the same result or probably even worse because
Jackson,
they've never
he's never
scored.
been good against low blocks.
Jackson's never scored or basically, I think, assisted once or twice against low block teams. Madueke the same, basically. He scored a hat trick and that's it. Never again against any low block teams because then that's not their game. So it wouldn't have made a difference, no. So you have to look at context, opposition, who we play, when we play. And it's a very long season. People need to have a bit of patience. So we're still unbeaten. That's the main thing. People seem to forget we're unbeaten. It's an unbeaten start.
An important point right there. It looks like my screen is frozen and I don't know why. Okay, there you go. I'm back. I appreciate you all finding time to join the conversation once again. Before I go to Bobby, I want to quickly look at this. The poll that asks the question: how many wins will Chelsea get in September under Enzo Maresca? 28% says 1 to 2 wins, 22% says 3 wins, 22% says 4 wins, and 28% says all 5 wins for the remainder of the games in the month of September. This reflects that again, the fans trust the team a lot more than they did at the beginning of the 2024-25 season. But that's by the way, Bobby, let's come to you. Again, I remember you were one of those. I can remember quite vividly, clearly, maybe. You were one of those that were telling people to calm down, that we do know exactly what we're doing. And every time we discuss the topic, we remind people, yeah, we agree, they've made mistakes. Yeah, they're not perfect, and they will learn from their mistakes. And you could argue they learned from the mistakes of having the older players who were on a very, very high salary. And imagine we're struggling. We did struggle. I wouldn't say we struggled. It took a lot of work for us to balance the books. And if we had those players on the sort of wages they had at the time, Koulibaly and the others, name them, imagine how difficult it would have been to balance the books. So they realized they made a mistake, that was a false start. They did what they had to do immediately to start fixing it. Some people would have started, you say, would have procrastinated the process of solving the issues at the time. You could argue that had they done that, that could have led to the situation compounding. But and I've always, I used to tell people at the time, they didn't become billionaires by being stupid, which brings to mind the fact that, yeah, how you succeed in life, if you know whatever you have to do to navigate an issue, do it immediately. Do not procrastinate or be sentimental about the decisions you have to make to navigate that particular problem. But Bobby, let's hear you. What do you make of this Julian Balak's comments? I think you can say a good education for a lot of our fans, because I don't know him to not speak objectively. Whatever he speaks objectively. But let's hear you, Bobby.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what comments they are, but
Should I read it out to you for you?
yeah, okay, go on.
Okay. The comment reads Julian Balak, just quoting him. I think Chelsea are creating something special. Remember when their fans were moaning about the team? The hardest thing is to see the bigger picture, which a lot of people weren't able to do at the time. Big accounts, especially bashing the owners, the sporting directors, the players they're signing. Oh, they're signing only kids, and a few of them had to tender a public apology after we won the Club World Cup, which some people are saying, yeah, they were probably bribed or got some
Not
money or
enough.
something like that. Yeah.
Mm.
So the
Yeah,
second
I
paragraph
mean,
reads, the hardest thing is to see the bigger picture when you are a fan. But Chelsea have got youth, direction, a fantastic manager, ambition, and order. That reminds me of Manchester United. It's been chaotic there for 4 seasons in a row. In the same position of football, PSG are so good because it's the same model, you could argue. Love their journey to the top. But let's hear you.
yeah, I mean, I've never been one to be in doubt of the project. I see the vision, and I feel I have an understanding as to what they're trying to achieve, and in many ways they a little bit had no choice other than to go through a somewhat novel approach to a squad rebuild. I
Mm-hmm.
have no problem with it. I know that the things that have hampered the Chelsea project over the past 2.5 seasons was severe injuries. Severe injuries hit us in the first season with Pochettino when we finished sixth, and even last season it was the same thing. I have no problem with any of that stuff. Where I do have a problem is with squad, at times, squad selection in the Premier League. The Premier League is a brutal league. It's not a league like any other. It doesn't take prisoners. You step on that pitch, just be ready to fight. Be ready to fight. It's not complicated. There's no bells and whistles. It's brutality. Now, if you fight and win the physical battle, then you will win the right to play. You can play your football then. I gave the example of our performance in the 2005 league winning team at Ewood Park. Even last Sunday at the Manchester Derby, you saw Pep Guardiola with his spine of giants. They fought. They had to fight Man United, and then Erling Haaland using his physicality made the difference. So that's just the league. You can't change that. So I know we have quality right the way through the team, but you must also instill that mentality of in it's not enough to just win ugly. Sometimes you have to fight ugly in the Premier League, and you can't do that with a bunch of weak players on the pitch at the same time.
Bobby, do you really think it's okay to call them weak?
Yes, I
Maybe
do.
you have to use a more specific language.
I do. I think I've seen him up close and personal. I think Jamie Gittins is way off. He's way off the mark physically. He's weak. I saw him against AC Milan, and the Milan right back was a brick wall to him. All those step overs
I mean,
and
what type of wingers do you want? What physical tall wingers are you talking about?
well, you don't necessarily have to be too tall, because I know height is a bit of an issue for you, but you don't have to be. But Neto, when he's fit, he's a battler. You see him, he gets the ball, he rushes up forward with that. He impacts the game.
So more
Let's put it that way.
a power running wing you're talking about, like
You
net.
have to be. You have to impact games on the
And
left.
you don't see
So
Gittins like that?
no, the Gittins isn't going to
Okay.
impact anything
Mhm.
yet. Maybe later when he has a few more stakes, and works out in the gym a bit more. Maybe I saw a little spark of it against Brentford when he came back and did a little bit of a defensive duty. But it's going forward, that thing that Neto will do that impacts games. It takes a proper winger to do that. Now people are hanging their hat on Garnacho. I didn't see that personally. I didn't see much difference between him and what Gittins was doing. And for me, if anybody on the left is able to give us any hope, it will be Tyreek George, who himself is rather delicate, for want of a
Bobby,
better
sorry,
word.
can I ask another question about this? So Pedro Neto, for example, when you
Hmm.
talk about you want him to be strong or powerful, strong,
No, he already is.
you're not talking about height, because height, okay, don't worry
Hmm.
about height because the wingers are not going to be that tall. You're talking about weight,
Mm, no, power.
power.
Neto has the power. You
But you
saw
need the
him in the
weight to have power. Don't you need the weight to have power? Don't you need to
oh
be
well,
strong?
yeah, he's strong. You
Okay,
saw
so
what he
I
did
can,
in the
let me give
Club
you an
World Cup.
example. Let me give you an example. Pedro Neto is 62 kilograms.
Mm.
Jamie Gittins is 70 kilograms.
Well, then he doesn't carry it well. That's all I can say.
Yes.
Because if you call me and say, Bobby, who would you rather on your wings at any point in time, I will call out Pedro Neto
Of
every
course, I would choose
time.
Neto over him at the moment as well. Yeah, but I'm just
Be-
giving
be-
you like hindsight. He's got very big legs, so that's why he's actually much heavier than Pedro Neto, which is very interesting. But he is strong, and he's a power winger as well, Gittins. So
I
I'm not
think
sure
the
well,
biggest
why you
issue is
don't
Bobby
see him as
probably don't know Gittins very well.
no, as I told you, I
Mhm.
saw him up close and personal. I saw him in the
But no,
Milan game.
from the perspective of how he applies himself on the pitch and why we even signed him on in the first place. I think here's the thing. I don't blame you. Um, let's wait, and I can assure you will be convinced. But Dante, I apologize for cutting you off. I just came in. I didn't know you were speaking. I
no, no, no.
No,
I
you
just
apologize.
cut you cut me off. If anything,
no, I
No,
told you
Dante
no.
was
I was
speaking when I.
making a point. Yeah.
you both cut me off.
Okay,
All,
apologies. Okay, go
all,
No, I
ahead,
just
Bobby.
wanted
all
to add that in there because it's interesting. Just wanted to get Bobby's
you
just give
see,
him some facts. Yeah.
all I was saying, my point is, we have a very good team. We have a crop of very, very talented youngsters. But you have to use them correctly, and you have to get them to develop to the right potential. They may not be fully developed, but you have to get them to be developed to the right potential to deal with the level of competition we have in front of us. Josh Hachimpong is not a fully developed player, but he's at the potential where you can put him in and he's not going to disappoint you largely against anybody. He's reached that mark. Some Esteval, to my surprise, who I wanted to wrap up in cotton wool, so far in the past 4 games, each time the kid comes on the pitch, he hasn't disappointed us. We're not far off. Even Gittins that I'm not impressed with. I have hope. I have hope because
All
I
right.
think somewhere along the line it will click. But you see, we can't underestimate the physical side of things. That's why
No, we don't.
Reece James.
I don't underestimate it. I'm just saying,
No,
telling. I'm just
re,
my argument. We did discuss this at length yesterday on the show. My
yeah.
argument is that look, I understand where you're coming from, but we're not that bad in terms of physicality.
Well, we're
Yeah,
probably not. Like on Wednesday, I would certainly probably shift Reece James a bit into midfield
probably
alongside
what we're gonna see.
Caicedo
He'll
in
be
the
there. Yeah,
absence
he'll be
of
there.
Lavia, because he really does give us that physical thing. It may not be aerial, but on the ground, you're not easily going to push over Reece James. That's just it. That dominance. When you see a team that has players, they're there. I make reference to Arsenal. You see them, a lot of their game is physical. They make you understand their presence. That's why they score a lot of goals through corners and free kicks. They bully teams. Whether that's the kind of football you like or not, it's the kind of football that uh, uh, um, impacts the Premier League. So, look, we're not far off. We don't have a bad team at all. My frustration lies sometimes when I see us getting pushed around when I don't think we should, and I think we have alternatives to not get pushed around. But let's see, injuries come back. A few of these guys manage to get their match fitness, and we're going to be a problem to anybody and everybody.
All right, so we'll start discussing the games one by one. We have Emo on the panel. Before we start, I'd like to get Emo's opinion. Not opinion. Let's see whether Emo, are you looking for? But before I do that, just quickly, this Manchester United fan is suffering. He says he's sad, he's mad, he's upset, he's depressed. His
He
team
should be
is
depressed. Yeah.
trash. Um, I'm not sure what to say to you, but these things happen. Um, and my advice is keep hammering. Keep
That's not our friend Rashi, is it?
no,
Maybe. No, I don't think so.
possibly, but not. They actually usually don't use the Manchester United crest. And Makim New Emo, we're getting the feedback from your end, please.
Oh,
Mike, yeah.
1 minute, please. Let
Uh,
me switch
okay.
over.
Okay. Makim New, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. Big up to you too, and thank you for joining the conversation. And we have 11 likes. We should be doing a lot better than that. We had 40, 50 plus people following the show. I think the numbers fluctuate, but it will come back to that again. We should be doing a lot better than 11 likes. If you haven't, please do take a second, drop a like on the video. A total of 61 viewers, 17 on YouTube, the rest shared between X and Facebook, whether equally. Coachella doesn't know, but if you're following the show on X or maybe Facebook, do us a favor, take a second, drop a like on the video, and follow our X account or Facebook account to help us grow. We sincerely do appreciate that. And something I want to say, we did a kit giveaway. Nick Fadley was the one that won it. So I don't know, it was maybe somebody that we already know that was pretending to be Nick Fadley. I haven't heard from the person after the giveaway. I have to be clear here, but nobody can fake the identity because I took the ID the person
Yeah, he
used.
hasn't been active at all. No.
Yeah, so I took the number of the ID of the person that won that. So if anybody tries to pretend to be Nick Fadley, we will know. Yeah, we've been in this game for long to know that people can try some SHIT like that. Lusula, hi guys. I hope Maresca learned a good lesson that he
He'll be back
cannot
eventually.
disrespect any. It wasn't about disrespecting teams. It was about rotating because the games will be coming in thick and fast. And I'll go through this again if you haven't taken the time to look at it. We played Brentford on September 13th, 4 days' time. On Wednesday, we'll be playing Bayern Munich. And after that, 3 days' time after Bayern, we'll be playing Manchester United away. And in another 3 days' time, we'll be playing Lincoln. Not that much of a concern to me because we can use the fringe players there. Then September 27th, in 4 days' time, we have another game against Brighton, a difficult one. September 30th, we have Benfica. So these are all difficult games. And then October 4th, even though
And
it's
they're
not in
away as
September,
well. Yeah.
then we play Liverpool. That's how much change. That's how closely those games are. At most 4 days. So he had to rotate, but maybe did the wrong way. But that's my opinion anyway. We have Emo in the house. Emo, thank you for joining the conversation. I do hope you're doing well. I appreciate you. You're maturing. I think it's maybe very soon we'll add you to the main panelist group. Emo, these games are Bayern away, Manchester United away, Lincoln away also. Then at home against Brighton, at home against Benfica. How many wins do you think we'd get from those games, and are you looking forward to them?
First, I think the Bayern game. I think I made on the group. I did say
Yeah, we can't hear you very well, Emo.
after all, we do get wins against Fixture. Can you hear me? Am I clear?
No, no. It's, are you far away from the
Can you hear
microphone or
me?
something?
Yeah, I had to switch over to my earpiece since you were getting feedback.
Okay. Yeah, we
Is
can
it
hear
better?
the. Yeah, they're a bit far away.
Yeah. So I'm talking about the Bayern game. I think we're going to get either a win or a draw. Yeah, we know it's the Allianz Arena. We know how tough it is over there. We're going to get a win or a draw, but I am quite skeptical with our defense. If we can take care of Harry Kane and Michael Olise, I don't think we have much of an issue in that Bayern team. So I am anticipating a win or draw. Then the Brighton game, tough one, tough one. Um, we can get a win there. We can get a win. We just need to outscore Brighton. Brighton is not a team that sits back for low blocks. They don't. They basically do not sit back. They will come all out, and we can get a win against Brighton. Lincoln, I think I should just write that game off. It's a win. Whichever players we filled in for that game, it has to
Well,
be a win. It has to be. Yeah, and I think Maresca does. Of course, we know he does a lot of rotating. So he's going to do a lot of. I believe he will do a lot of rotating for those two games, besides the Bayern game, which I consider um, priority. We do not need to gamble with it. Of course, it's the first game of the Champions League, but every point matters. Every point counts. Every point counts. And for the league game, I think we should be aiming for the league title this season, personally. So I think that game is equally priority. So we definitely need to beat Brighton. If we have to just keep the pace up there, we need to beat Brighton. That's just it. We need to beat Brighton. And I believe we will anyways. I've said it already because Palmer may not start the Brighton game, may not actually, but I don't know. Maybe if
yeah,
we're
I think
preparing
you're
for
right
the
about
match
that one. Yeah,
for the
I think
yes
Maresca will
for
have
the
that game circled against Brighton.
yes
That he will
because
what?
we have Man United coming up. So just imagine if United decides to sack Amorim, then we will have an issue of a new manager bounce. So that United game also would be priority. So if he rests Palmer, I would understand. So I personally don't think maybe Palmer should play that Brighton game, but we should get a win either way.
All right, let's get started. Let's talk about the Bayern game. This is not a preview. This is just we'll discuss how best to approach this game to get a good result. So the poll, we usually look at the poll. Who will win? 44%. That's, as you can say, within the margin of an again of error. You could argue probably ends in the draw according to the poll. It will end in the draw according to the poll. 44% believes the Bayern will beat Chelsea. 40% believes Chelsea will win. 16% believes it will end in a draw. Total votes of 53,941. That's a good enough sample size, but nothing scientific about that. Why? Because it's usually driven by people's opinion. Yeah, definitely. But let's look at the team's current form. In 5 games, we won 3, drew 2. And one of the draws, 0-0, the other one, 2-2 draw. In Bayern's case, in 5 games, they won 5 in total. But yeah, it's in the Bundesliga, to be honest, irrespective of how anybody sees it. I think if we face those teams, if we face Hamburg and we face Augsburg and we face Winsbach, how you pronounce that one? And Leipzig, Stuttgart, I think that's a chance we'd win the 5 of them. But yeah,
Yeah, and they haven't been doing that well either.
Yeah. Sorry?
They've won, but they haven't been doing very well.
Yes, exactly. So football is each game is played over 90 minutes plus added time. And one thing to pay attention to, let's look at goals concession. And in 5 games, we considered 4 goals. Yep. 2 here, 1 here, and 1 here. In 5 games, that's how many? 4 goals in total, right? 2, 3, 4. In 5 games, they've considered 2 here, 5 here, 8 here. 8 in total. So sorry, 2 here plus 3 plus 2 here, that's 4. No. 1 here plus 2 here, that's 3. Plus 2 here, that 5. They've considered 5. They've considered a lot more than us. But in all honesty, if we expand it and see a lot more games, they do concede a lot than us. So let's see what insights tell us. If there's any here. Okay, insights, just 2 things here. Bayern haven't lost in 8 matches. Chelsea haven't lost in 11 matches. And I think in 20 matches, we've lost just 2 games, or 20 plus matches or so, or around 20 or so. So it's a difficult one to predict. And in terms of insights, there aren't too many items to look at. But they've conceded a lot more goals than us in 5 games. That gives me hope we could get a slight win. And for injuries, they have Wisdom Mike out, Alfonso Davis is out. Early December, that's a good sign. Ito, I don't know him too well. Jamal Musiala out, a tricky customer. So glad he's out. I don't wish him bad. Rafael Guerrero out. For Chelsea, Bader Sheila out. Asugo out late November. There you go, Bobby. You were asking, you're saying you weren't too sure when he's going to be back. Late November. Levi Colwell, late April. Okay, could play a few games. Delap, mid-November. Good sign. Romero Lavia, late September. Did he suffer a setback? Or maybe just maybe
Not
that
updated,
isn't
no.
labeled correctly.
It's not updated, no.
Okay. But then let's hear your thoughts. How should we play to get a good result against Bayern at the Arians Arena?
I think you're going to see very much like we did against PSG, to be honest. I think Maresca's going to pretty much put that same side out, in my opinion, as well. So it'll be very, very similar, if not mirrored to that side. Obviously, Colwell won't be playing in that, but the rest of the players, it should all be playing like they played in that PSG game. And I think we will approach that way because they play pretty much the same way as well. Look, Bayern Munich have a very, very good attack. Front 4, very good. The defense is their biggest weakness. The midfielder is a bit slow. They're a bit older, so a bit slower, but very experienced and quite strong. I guess physical. They got Goretzka in there, and they'll have Kimmich probably playing around in there as well. So a little bit older, but they do play slower through there. So I think we match midfield very well. You know, the defense is their weakness. They're really struggling there. They got some players out there as well. So it's pretty much like us. We've got a pretty good strong attack, you know, and our weak probably defense is a little bit weaker than all of our other areas. So they're pretty much the same. But it'll be interesting game to see how Maresca, you know, approaches it. But I think he will do that PSG very similar. I think James, Bobby said it, James will play in that midfield role, and you'll see Gusto be on the field as well. He'll be probably overlapping on that right wing side, exactly like we did against PSG. I think it'll be exactly the same side because they're very much structured the same. They kind of play the same way exactly as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for that. I'm hoping he goes for that because I think that would really unsettle them. If we do go more defensive, he can go more defensive. He has done that a lot in the bigger games. That was last season though. But the end of last season, that all changed against the big teams. We didn't go that defensive anymore. So it'll be interesting to see what he does. But in my opinion, I think he'll probably go that PSG route. He'll probably put that same probably side out for me because that's probably our strongest side anyway. And yeah, look, it should be an exciting game. Actually, I actually do think there'll be goals in this game. Probably be a draw, but probably 2-2, something like that, 1-1, 2-2. But yeah, with their defense and our defense, so we're a bit struggling a little bit. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a couple of goals because they've got very good attackers. That's a strong, and that's pretty much our strength as well. Especially in a game like this when the wingers will be very important and they will come into play a lot. Gusto will be very important, overlapping. Like I said, because I think James will be in that midfield. So yeah, I think it'll be it'll be quite a pretty good game to watch goals wise. But yeah, the
Yeah,
midfield,
it'll
like I
be a
said, the
good game for
midfield's
the
quite slow.
neutrals.
So it'll be interesting to see how Maresca approaches it. If he does that PSG way, is he going to attack a better team, or is he going to go back to what we did more mid last season, going to proper defensive mids and really sitting back, not really, you know, having all the having possession or pressing high and trying to win the ball back and really unsettling them. But of course, that changed at the end of the in the Club World Cup. That changed quite a lot. We went after teams. We didn't do that anymore. So that's why I think he probably will do the same. Hopefully against Bayern Munich.
If the question arises on which of the two managers is better than more tactically, you could say more tactic, better you could say tactically, I'd say Enzo Fernandez. I've watched Bayern a lot.
Maresca,
Uh,
yeah,
e- Even when Company was in the Premier League, I've watched them too. Uh, in the case of Bayern, you could argue he has good players, and that's it. Beyond that, tactically, I think he's been ineffective. After last season, actually, the Bayern hierarchy discussed changing, making a managerial change. Tactically, I'd say Enzo Maresca, better equipped. Maybe they have
he is.
more experienced players than us. But let's hear you. Let's hear your opinion.
They do. So they have a lot of experienced players. But that also they are slower that way because, like I said, the midfield is very slow. They're very slow. They got some guys at the back that are slow. A couple of fast players are out as well. So they're quite a slow team up front. On the wings, though, they're very quick. So that is the only. But the rest of they're quite slow. So if you put that team under pressure, and I've watched a couple of their games. I think the one they won 6-3. Yeah, if you put them under pressure and that wasn't the best team against them, they don't react too well because they don't like that. They just want to win and they want to win by a lot of goals. The structure is very simple. The company is quite simple. He's the type of manager. He's one of that likes physicality, so I think you'll get that. He just wants strong players. Bobby will like him. Strong players. Doesn't matter if they're older, slower, as long as they're strong and just his attack. There's not too much. It's a very simple setup he's got. Very simple. So tactically, 100% Maresca's way ahead of him tactically.
Yeah, and he has, you could say, the toughest to back, you to back it up with. Again, chances are, if you was a Bayern manager last season, he'd win all the trophies there is to win in
Pretty
Germany.
much, I think he
Yeah,
would. But look, like I said, they're strong players. They're older players, strong. A lot of the midfield, some of the defense, especially the midfield. But they only know one way to play, and that is attacking. So
yeah.
yeah, it's fine against
Tactically,
teams in the
it's
Bundesliga. A
not
lot
too
of the lower
You could
teams.
say he's not too complex to understand.
No, so he's
Yeah,
not using those players like, like really tactically, really strong physicality.
no sophistication. No. Easy actually to understand. But that's by the
And they
way.
just kind of sit there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so nothing special.
Nothing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nothing. Yep, I agree. But Alfonso Monday, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. And Angel Panasia Ata, nice to see you once again. Hello, Coach. My Colombian friend here telling me. Let's see what he says here. Colombian friends here telling me us how messy Chelsea board did do the whole squad by not getting the world class CB. So frustrating to watch Tosin look this bad. Here's the thing, um, you're entitled to see it the way you do. I think I don't know how to respond to that, but listen, I think we're good. I think again, I would have loved us to sign one more CB, but probably they know Levi Cowell will eventually come back. We still have Josh Archambault; he gets to play, and the manager likes him. He's given them opportunities in high-profile games, and I think I wouldn't be shocked to see him start against Bayern. We still have Trevor Chalobah, still have Wesley Fofana, still have Tosin Adara Bioyo. We still have Yoro Hato, who's able to play the center back position, and it's good ideas actually. But I get it. We signed him as a left back, so for me, I think we're good. Had we signed another center back, would be better. I definitely would be better off, but I think we're fine. More importantly, the culture or maybe the habit of defending as a unit, I think will go a long way. And as I've told people, I'm going to have to be honest here. In other areas, I think we're good. The only place I have a bit of a concern is our defensive not, players. But for me, and I've said this before, as long as we continue the habit of defending as a unit, the selflessness we've seen from um, Pedro Neto, just like in the Club World Cup final, something like that. If we can have those on both flanks, tracking back like that, I think we'll be all right. And Maresca is a very smart manager. I think he's find a solution for that. So, Bobby, let's hear you. What do you think we should do? How do you think we should approach the game to beat Bayern? In my opinion, before you start speaking, I'd say we need a good balance of you could say defensive solidity and at the same time offensive again our offensive application on the day. There has to be a good balance. If you focus so much on getting goals, they are potent enough to to put away every chance they get. But let's hear you, Robbie.
Yes, you're right. In fact, I'll go as far as to say that the way to go about this game is to be balanced all over the pitch and to try and impose our game on Bayern and not the other way round. Um, the funny thing about this game is that as much as we know of each other, is as little as we know of each other because we haven't really played them for a couple of years because of our absence from the Champions League. So we know them, yet we don't know them. And by that, I mean we know them, but yet we don't know them to play. I've noticed Nicholas Jackson is running his mouth, saying, "Oh, he knows Chelsea. He'll be able to tell Bayern things about Chelsea, all that nonsense." Um, I don't think that's helpful to him or anybody. Talking about, oh, if I score, I'll celebrate, and these things are not helpful. Um, Maybe he feels motivated as well. I don't know. I don't know. But if we play our game and impose it on Bayern rather than the other way round, we could upset people on Wednesday.
Imo, your thoughts. How should we approach that game to get a good result? Let me just stick with a good result. If you feel like we can beat them at the
Yeah,
Allianz Arena on their own carpet, let's hear you.
yeah. I was thinking of I was checking through two different formations that could be possible that we could use. Maybe a four let's say a 4-2-3-1, That is, if we're going to have Reece James play in the midfield. But I think I would rather prefer Reece James at right back for that particular game, given the fact that we our defense is not all that just yet. I think I would prefer him helping at the back, so I prefer him at left back while Mark Cucurella is I said left back, right back, while Cucurella is on the left, and then Caicedo and Fernandez usually on on more like the defensive position, like the DM. But of course, we know that sometimes Fernandez will do go forward. So I think we should just keep a 4-2-3, a 4-2-1-3 formation where Palmer has to play, and then I think that way it will work. We'll be able to contain Bayern. Like you said, their midfield is not all that. I think we have a better midfield. And going forward, we have goals. They have goals. But at the end of the day, I think that game will be mostly decided by the defense, but like I said, I expect a win or a draw. And I don't think Maresca should overthink on this particular one. I think there's absolutely no reason to overthink. And I mentioned before the players to look out for should be Michael Olise because I think he's in form. He's fantastic. Olise and Hurricane. Hurricane always scores. He always finds it feels like watching an Olivier Giroud in a very creative thing. Anything he sees, anything half chance he takes it, full chance, wherever it looks like he takes it. That's the kind of person Hurricane is. So I don't think we should be giving them that much chance. If we score first, if we convert, I think we win that game. Otherwise, we probably might end up drawing the game. I don't see us losing any game.
So you're saying
I don't see
you
us
don't see
losing
us
any game.
losing the game?
Did you get me?
No, I heard you. You're saying you don't see us losing the game. That at worst we get a
No,
draw.
no, I don't see us losing the game. At worst, we get a draw. I don't expect Maresca to overthink. I definitely don't expect him to overthink on this one.
All right, thank you. Next game, let's look at the next game we have. But Enzo Panacea Ata has something to say here. Looking at Arsenal and Liverpool centre backs, Chelsea defense look weak. I'm sure Maresca will be discussing this with his wife, but cannot publicly talk this. Here's the thing: if he seriously wanted the centre back, I think we would have signed one. Whatever. Listen, I don't see a world where he'd be seriously in need of a centre back and would tell him no. Yeah, we didn't sign one, probably because they had a conversation and agreed we're fine, and I think we're fine, really. Honestly, I think he will find a solution, but I think it will take us again, the us you can say continuing the habit of defending as a unit. So the next game we have here, of course, somebody leaves work to come say something. He has something that interests him there. Yep, the wives know everything. Yeah, you'd be comfortable telling your wife everything, even the ones you don't tell your boss. Chelsea defense is not too bad, but I think Tosin is a bit too slow. Tosin isn't slow. Acceleration is the issue. But yeah, let's see what else we have here. Chelsea versus Manchester United. Okay, let's see. Wow. Still the margin of within the margin of error. 43% I think so Chelsea will beat Manchester United at Old Trafford. 39% thinks Manchester United will beat Chelsea, and 18% thinks it will end in a draw. But here's the thing: nothing scientific about this. This is driven mainly by people's opinion. Some will go, some would just select Chelsea because Manchester United they've been in an awful form. Some might have looked at the numbers or insights to see what will be the most likely outcome. But let's see. We'll look at the insights also and see what we'll learn from there. Chelsea wanted to sign a CB, but no CB was coming. I don't think so. We didn't really push for any, unless one of Tosin Chalobah was sold. It was briefed many times. Okay. if that's what you believe. Badia Sheila was linked to a move away from Chelsea, but he got injured. He was listed as one of the players the club wasn't. We weren't looking to sell. I remember seeing that list. Yeah, and even without seeing that particular report at the time that listed players that the club that Chelsea weren't looking to sell, because yeah, he was the closest. He is the closest to Levi Cowell in terms of vision and passing range, irrespective of what you think of him. And patterns show again that when he was the pattern again, I did realize at the time that actually Maresca likes him. Um, we Chelsea fans are not happy with the Chelsea lineup. Jamie Gittins is not full ready to start. Okay, fully ready to start. We suggest we should start Ganacho to join first 11, so Enzo Maresca should do better. He had to rotate. Whether the place he selected on the day was fine, honestly, I disagree to a certain extent. That yeah, I did say that we shouldn't have started with Gittins and what's his name, Yoro Hato on the left hand side, leading to us now being ineffective on the day on that left hand side. So for injuries, Badia Shile, we know Daria Isugo late November. Badia Shile, a few days, chances are he'll be ready for the Bayern game. Levi Cowell, late April 2026. Liam Delap, late mid November. Romeo Lavia, late September. For them, Diego Dalot is out. Lissandro Martinez is out. Mason Mount, wow, since he left Chelsea, it's been one injury after the other. Kunha, late September. Okay, we cannot face Barcelona like this. Yeah, I don't know why people are. You don't give us credit, don't you? But that's by the way. Let's see them. Hopefully, they play the same way we've seen them play with that high line. Um, let's see. What else do we have here? In 5 games, we won three, drew two. For them, in 5 games, they drew two, won one, lost two. And they've considered one here, three in total, two here, which is five. They considered 5 goals. And in 5 games, we considered two here, three, 4 goals. So one more. Good insights here. Let's see what the insights tell us. Manchester United have scored 6 goals in their last 5 games. Mind you, five in one. How many in one? 3 goals in one. Yeah. So, and then we have scored 13 goals in our last 5 games. They haven't kept a clean sheet in 9 matches. Haven't lost in 11 matches. Matthias Cunha has the most shots on target per match for Manchester United, and he's not fit. João Pedro is ranked number 3 in big chances created, but I don't like the way they usually phrase this. Number 3 in big chances created. I'm expecting to see like 20 big chances created, but yeah, just 3. But let's hear you, Imo. Your thoughts? Chelsea versus Manchester United at Old Trafford. What do you think the outcome will be? Insights suggest, yeah, a good again,
The,
most likely a win for Chelsea. But for me, yeah, remember the game is played over 90 minutes plus added time, and you cannot
yeah,
speak football. But let's hear you.
yeah, yeah. The thing is, each time we meet Manchester United, we've always made life very difficult for us. Even even when even when we were champions of Europe, we were probably one of the best teams in the league, and we go to this struggling
Hmm.
Manchester United, and we somehow find a way to nearly lost the game. It's always that's the thing. Sometimes what they say is when two big teams are playing, sometimes you throw form out of the windows. But I think we should beat Manchester United. They are going to come out. They are going to come out very hard on us. It's Manchester United versus Chelsea. But I think we should beat them in this game, even if it is a narrow victory. It's a game over 90 minutes, yes. Possibility of a win, draw, and loss. On paper, we should beat them, but I think we should beat them. Yes, I think maybe I'm a bit sentiment saying Chelsea should probably win all the games. Yeah, I know whatever comes, whatever result comes, we take it. Whether it favors us or not, we will take it. We'll do with it. But this particular United team that is struggling, if it almost felt like City last season at their lowest, back home and away, we lost both games. It was crazy, like it didn't make any sense. I think we should beat Manchester United if we are actually serious. At least they are one of the top teams this season we should beat. I'm not counting Tottenham Hotspur. I think they've improved, but it's almost a given that we beat Spurs. So Man United is an issue. I think we should beat them anyways. But I think we should. Let's see how it goes once again. We have Kopama, the almighty formula.
Yeah, he's
And now we
back,
have
and I
Ganacho.
think probably he'd be available for selection. But go ahead, what you were saying.
Yes, yeah, and we have Ganacho. He would want to prove a point. So I think
Ooh, he's
Maresca and
definitely going
Welsh
to
will
start
probably
that game.
yeah, I believe Ganacho might get a goal on that game.
I
Pedro
think he
Neto,
starts. Here's the thing, because at the moment, it's you could say it'd be correct to say Old Trafford will still feel like home for him, irrespective of
yeah,
whether they boo him or whatever. If they boo him, I think he'd be even more motivated to do a damage. But go ahead with what you're saying.
yeah, and I think for that game I would pick Pedro Neto to start ahead of Esteval. Yeah, I know Esteval is phenomenal, but
I'd say
for
probably
that game
Gittins.
I'll go Gittins for the Brighton game.
I'm saying that Garnacho probably starts. He will start over Gittins against Manchester United.
Yes, 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 certainly. He should start ahead of Gittins. He should start ahead of Gittins, as well as I think I want Pedro Neto to start ahead of Esteban. But we would also like to see, personally, I think I would like to see that little boy up front, Maguire, in that particular game. I know this is ridiculous. It sounds ridiculous, but I think I would like to see him in the Manchester United team because if we're actually going for, we have a lot of competitions to play this season, and sometime along the line, he will feature for us on in the league. So I think we should have him. If he gets a goal, that's a boost for him. His confidence. If he gets a good performance, it's something for Maresca to build on because the lap will be out for long and Joao Pedro cannot do it all. I mean, if he stays fit, yeah, why not? But we still need that extra leg. So why call him back in the first place? I think he should play that game. And
Yeah,
I
and
think
it's
we beat
important to
Man.
mention by the time we play them, their form could be different. Maybe they win. Chances are they'd win their next game, and yeah, you never know. But let's
Yeah,
see. What do we have here? No, they're not going to play any game until we meet them because we're playing them. Yeah, we play
so
one
that
more
gives them
game
enough
before we
time.
meet them. Yeah.
That gives them enough time to prepare for us, enough
Mhm.
match fitness. Wow.
All right, Vic is
Well,
saying here, comparing United Amorim stats with Chelsea is diabolical. What exactly are you looking for? Just to see what the insights, statistics, what it tell us. It's really that simple. So, Vic, just leave me alone and go back to work. Alfonso Mendes, I believe Chelsea will win, but that should be if Enzo Maresca knows that the right line. I think he does by now. He's made a mistake. I'm quite sure he'll learn from that. Yeah, because usually watch the both teams are playing. The way the both teams are playing. Okay, so we would. Okay, I think apologies. I'm trying to make sense of what you have there. Probably because yeah, I wasn't the one that wrote it. It's difficult. It looks like Parma, Garnacho, Estavo will have a great connection if the coach pay close attention. be rest assured he's paying attention. He knows his players. He was the one that requested the club sign those players. As Cole Palmer, an exception, of course, was signed before he became our manager. So I think he knows that. And I think he likes Estevao. And I like the fact that he said, yeah, he's going to make mistake, but he needs to play to learn. But Estevao, another guy, another key player that's capable of pulling the rabbit out of the hat to help us win a game. Bobby, let's hear you. Chelsea versus Manchester United at Old Trafford. What do you think we should do to win that game? And in the past, what do you think we did that led to us now beating them there that should change?
This is a very interesting one. Um, I stick to my guns and I say that look, we have to go there with our best players and players that can cut the gravy. Playing in, I wouldn't say the conditions will be hostile, but in terms of turnaround time, it'll be very, very short indeed. So you're only as good as your next game in football, and he has to, and the team has to yet again, just like I said with the Bayern game, you have to find a way to be the most dominant on that field. And you do that if Chelsea dominate Man United, which is going to be very difficult because they too are a very physical team. But if we can manage to pass that acid test, yeah, we'll beat them at Old Trafford.
Yeah. Coach, are you there?
I don't know where he
Oh,
went to.
oh,
Can you
okay.
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I don't know. Sometimes he drops off. And that coach.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah. I'm
when
here.
he's
I'm here.
back.
I'm here. I'm here. Go ahead, Bobby.
Yeah.
You done speaking?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what else do we have here. Okay, please. I'm sorry to ask this question. Did Enzo Maresca use to see or hear these things for saying possibly, but there's no way to tell. I think probably you have to be a very big
Can't
account
tell.
like ESPN or so before he hears. Yeah, we're not that big yet that he and I. You never know. He might stumble upon it by accident, but mainly ESPN, Sky Sports, those BBC. Yeah, probably. Go ahead, Emo. Were you saying something?
No, 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 no. I wasn't saying much.
Okay, we should skip the Lincoln game and go to the Brighton game. That's another team we've struggled to beat of late. And last season, was it at their home ground? They knocked us off the knock. They did knock us out of the FA Cup and then beat us in the Premier League by 3 goals to 1 or so. I can't quite remember the result of that game. For them, no need to look at that players we have out. I think by the time we play them, I think Badiashile and most likely late September. What date is that?
Wait, you mean Brighton?
Yeah, on the 27th. I think by then we'll have Romeo
Of
Lavia and
of late, I think
and
of I
and
think I
Badia Sheila
think
in the
I
squad. Go
think
ahead.
of late.
Maybe, yeah,
I
go ahead.
think of I think of late we've been taking care of
No, we
business with
haven't.
Brighton.
They knocked us out of the FA Cup. That was before
It
then.
wasn't them.
The
I think
season
I think it
before,
was I
the
think it
season
was
before,
Newcastle.
yeah, the season before. That's 23,
Yeah.
24. I think we beat them
Oh yeah,
home and
yeah,
away.
that's right.
But
That's right.
yeah, but
Yeah.
for 24, 25, they knocked us out again out of one of the club competitions and then beat us in the Premier League. I think it was embarrassing actually. Let's look at head to head, actually. We'll see it here.
Ooh, hold
Yeah,
on,
head to
hold on. I need
head,
to get it
they
straight.
beat
I
us
need to
three
get it
zero
straight.
in the
Last season.
Premier League. They beat us three
Yeah.
zero in the Premier League on their turf and then knocked us out of the FA Cup. Yeah, so those games were like in February 8th and February 14th. So they weren't that apart. Well, go ahead with what you were saying.
That was Graham Potter.
No, no, that was
That was
Maresca, really.
Enzo Maresca.
Yeah, that was Maresca, head to head. In those two games, the FA
Oh,
Cup,
that, that
it was
means
under
I wasn't
Maresca.
even
Then
I
the
wasn't
3-0
really keeping
win in
track
the
with
Premier
them.
League, it was under Maresca too.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That
So, but
that that
yeah, go ahead. What you were saying.
that's by the way. I think like I said, the Brighton game. I mentioned it. It would be a tough one, but Brighton will not sit back against us, and that gives
Oh
us
no, they will not.
a very good advantage.
Yeah.
That gives us an advantage against them. If they do
So,
come out, they'll keep their shape. I know that for a certain. That is where we have to be alert. They have fast-paced players, and I think they sold some of their key players. What's this guy's name? The one that went to
Joao Pedro
Sunderland.
is one of them.
Joao Pedro is one of them. Then there's this kid Edringa. They sold Edringa. Um, is it
The one that went
Adringa
to
or what?
Strasbourg also.
Yeah, no, he went to yeah, the one that went to Strasbourg and Sisu, yeah. So I think this particular game, their new players would want to make a statement, but I think I trust our attack better and our midfield better than I did at the beginning of last season. Yeah, I know last some points last season we were halfway through the season we started struggling. We started dropping off, dropping points unnecessarily and then but I think this particular game, though it's gonna be a tough one, but we have enough firepower to beat Brighton on this game. And like I said, they are very quick in on the counter, very creative, very direct. So Sanchez would have to be on his A game, and our two centre backs they have to do their best on this particular game.
Yeah. All
In
right, more
terms of
likes,
maybe
people. More likes. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. Just quickly, Emo. One second
remember
here. Yeah, go ahead.
they kind of like found I think more like a replacement for Caicedo, Baleba. So I
Yeah, yeah,
think
he's a good player. United wanted
they,
him. They were
they,
actually willing to
they,
pay up to 17 million pounds, but they refused to sell him.
nah, they know what they are doing. They know the game they are playing, right? They want to milk enough with him. I think we have a similar player like that on their own end. So crazy stuff. Our defense should better look at.
Yeah, and Alfonso Monde says that Chelsea versus Brighton, the game will be so interesting, but Chelsea is going to win. I believe it's no argument. Wow, you're confident. Okay, let's hear you. I'd be interested to hear what drives your confidence right now. Let's hear you. Why do you trust the team that much that you believe we're going to beat Brighton away? Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, no, at home, not away. So now, goal concession for them. They considered two here, considered one here, considered two here. So that's 5 goals, 6 goals in 5 games. And we considered how many in 5 games? I think, okay, two here, one here, three here. So they considered two more than us. And they scored, you can say overall, they're averaging 1 point something goals per game. And we're very averaging also, you could argue, yeah, overall 1 point something per game. But the difference is that they conceded a lot more. How many goals did they score here in total? Scored one here, two here. That's 3 plus 6 here. That's 8 in total. That's one in a single game, and that was against Oxford United, so it doesn't really count. So yeah, 8, 9 goes, and then 10 goes in total. And for us, we have how many goes? 4 here, 5 here. That's 9. That's 11. 13 goals. So we still scored a lot more goals than them, and they're conceding. You can say they've considered, yeah, 1 point something, and we're considering goal concession should be around one, not even 1.8 something per game. So which means they're conceding a lot more than us, and we scored a lot more than them. So you could argue for us, numbers say, statistics say, yeah, the most likely outcome will be a Chelsea win. But once again, I'll go back to reminding people football is played over 90 minutes plus added time. numbers can only give you a sensible idea with regards to how a particular game ends. Okay, Chelsea have scored 13 goals in total. We already know that. Brighton has scored 10, so we've scored three more. We haven't lost in 11 games. Brighton have been awarded the most penalties this season, three in total, three penalties in 4 games. And I'm quite sure Mitoma probably main reason for that. He's a tricky customer to deal with. Okay, so let's see. And I don't like the way I've seen the Robert Sanchez play whenever we play against Brighton, unfortunately. João Pedro is ranked third in big chances created. We already know that. Brighton and Hove Albion have won the previous 2 matches against Chelsea. So that those the FA Cup game and the Premier League game away to them. So, but I think I'm kind of confident we're gonna win this one. Yeah, because we're more mature, and Maresca for me, he's a quick learner. Um, I'm not just going by what the numbers alone tell me, but well, let's see, Bobby. Let's hear your thoughts. Chelsea versus Brighton at home. Do we still have Bobby on the panel? I know it's very late for him. Probably dozed off.
Can you not hear me?
Yeah. Okay. Now I can hear you. I wasn't. I
Oh,
heard nothing before now.
all right. I mean, yeah, this is interesting. We beat them at the bridge last season. But I don't know. I've not really been paying attention to Brighton, so I don't really know what threat they can pose at the moment.
They've
Um,
not been
They,
in again in
they,
good
they,
form
they, they,
this
they
season.
beat Man City the last time out before they are lost to Bournemouth.
Here's their
So
games this
yeah,
season so far.
yeah,
Against Fulham, 1-1 draw. Is that was that in the Premier League? I think it was. They
it
lost
was.
0-2 to Everton away. Then they beat Oxford United FA Cup, I think, away. Then beat Man City 2-1. Then lost 2-1 to Bournemouth.
Bournemouth.
So yeah, 2 wins, 2 draws. Yeah, 2 wins, 1 draw, and 2 losses for them.
Okay.
I mean, they've not been in the greatest of form this season, but they pulled off. You could say they so far pulled off the surprise. You could say the shock of the season by beating Manchester City by 2 goals to 1. You there, Bobby? It looks like Bobby has dozed off,
yeah,
and I don't blame him. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, um, yeah, they're always a customer that we have to really keep our eye on
Hmm.
and make sure that we're sharp and at our best. I think we can win the game. The games they beat us in last season were games where, yet again, we were injury deplenished of certain key players, and we
Hmm.
were totally off the mark completely. So one could look at that and say they were a bit fortunate, but we have to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Yeah. Mitoma almost always again every time difficult to deal with. So yeah, Imo, you want to add something to that, or should we move on to the next game?
No, no, no. We can move on. The
Okay, the
Brighton.
next one, the last game for the that's the Benfica game. We did beat them during the Club World Cup group stage, right? Or knockout stage?
It was knockout.
Knockout.
I
Okay.
think semi
Was it
the fourth.
the 10 hours game?
Yeah.
That
It
was the
was.
game, right? Di Maria. Yeah, I remember.
Was.
I don't know if it was that game, but
No, he was. He
It
was.
was.
Yeah, because Di
It
Maria
okay.
was
was.
part of that game in question.
It was.
So definitely Benfica.
Was Benfica. They came out with few minutes to go, got the equalizer, and then they got destroyed.
Yeah. More likes, people. 19 likes. One more to get it to 20. Let's make it happen. After this one, I think we'll be rounding up, but we'll go check if anything new emerged as the show progressed to address that. So we'll look at the numbers and see what the numbers tell us. Then I'll start with you, Imo, before we go to Bobby and call it a day. Alfonso Mendes says here, I'm really worried of facing Bayern Munich. in this Champions League, but I suggest Chelsea should try and play draw because right now Bayern Munich is not easy to face right now. I think they struggled a bit. They're not as good as they were last season, and tactically, uh, I think we have an edge. Our manager is better equipped tactically. Vincent Company, I want him to succeed, but tactically, I've seen enough to know that yeah, he doesn't know how to do things differently. I think Maresca will figure it out. If they change out the day, then it'd be a little more difficult for us. But he has a good enough squad that even my mom can become their coach and just say, go onto the pitch and play and they'd win a game. Let's see. Big up to you too, AB. Nice to see you. It's been a minute. I do hope you're doing well. Hopefully, your absence simply means that you've been busy. If that's the case, we're happy for you because yes, bills don't pay themselves. So here we have Benfica versus Chelsea. Let's see who they have out. Manu Silva, Dodi Babieko. Is that how you pronounce that? Let me see one quickly here. Let me see. All right, let's see. Okay, no popular name there. So let's see what people's no. Okay, the poll isn't out yet. No insights yet. No any yet, but I think it's gonna be a difficult one because I think the day we played them, they were very very pragmatic. In my opinion, it was a difficult game for us. A physical side too. But let's hear your thoughts, Imo. Chelsea versus Benfica. I need to see the insights. Even team form isn't here. That'd be helpful, but none here. But the only thing we'll have here is head to head. 4 wins and none for them. Club World Cup, we beat them 4-1. Europa League final stage, we beat them 2-1. That's 2013. I think they had Matic at the time. Yeah, Champions League final stage 2-1. Champions League final stage. So that's yeah, 1-0. Wow. But let's hear you more. Your thoughts.
We always beat Benfica, not because they are not a good team, but because at the league where they are playing, we cannot compare the teams they play against to the teams we face in Premier League. So Benfica is a top team, but but they they can't deal with the pace. They can't deal with the pace. But I think I've seen a few of their games after the Club World Cup. They've been not that consistent after stays after the Club World Cup. In their league, I think Porto is topping that league. Yeah, I think Porto tops that league. They are not too convincing. I think they are going to field in their best players against us. But whatever happens in the Bayern game, we have to find some Benfica to get the 3 points. So I think that game also, I've been saying win, win, win. I think that game is a win. If anything else happens other than a win, I probably think we lost 2 points. If we draw the game, I think it's a loss for us. If we draw the game, I think we should beat Benfica personally. I think we should. We should beat Benfica.
Yeah, I mean, you can say that one of the again not the strongest of the teams who would play, not the weakest either. But it wasn't an easy game that day, though.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, Bobby, are you there? The Benfica game before we go news hunting and call it a day.
Okay,
Anything?
can you hear me?
Yeah. Crystal clear.
Yeah, Benfica, I mean, yet again, it's another one. We have to impose our game on them and not the other way round. They are a good team, although we have shown that we are better, and we have to show that on the night.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think we'll revisit this maybe during when we get to do the preview show. Maybe we'll have the insights to work with. Right now, there's practically nothing to work with, and it's not a team that I say I know very well. I just remember that our game against them at the Club World Cup was very, very difficult. Imo, anything else you want us to talk about before? Yeah, let's go news hunting and see if anything new emerged as the show progressed. Imo, you there? I know it's very late to you. Bobby, anything else you want us to talk about before we call it a day?
Yeah, I was nearly dozing. I just found myself um completely out of it. So yeah, I think it's been a decent one. I've tried to last as
Mm-hmm.
long as I can, but I am fit to turn in for the night right now, coach.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much, Imo. Anything else you want us to talk about, Imo? All right. Let's. Yeah, go ahead.
Nothing much. Nothing
All right.
much.
Okay. Let's
Things
see
to
if
be said
anything new
now.
emerged as the show progressed. Nothing new. Enzo Fernández. These are all stuff we've addressed. So with that, we've come to the natural end of the show. I want to say thank you to Constantine Duntu, the captain of the community, who was on the panel. Thank you to Imo. Thank you to our senior panelists in Bobby. Thank you for joining. At least.
Yeah, thank you.
The staff says at least I'm not shouting. But staff, nice to see you out. I hope you're doing well. AB, thank you. Nice to see you. Alfonso Monday, thank you for joining the conversation. And nice to see you too. Who else was there? Vic, also, thank you for leaving work to come poke fun at me. But nice to see you, Vic. I do hope you're doing well. The Demonat, nice to see you. And if I missed your name, apologies. I'm only human. See you guys next time. God bless us all. And cheers.
Yeah. Cheers, coach.
Cheers, bro.
Still blue. Mm-hmm. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shedding crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Reetz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shedding crew, born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue. my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shedding crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Reece's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shedding crew, born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shedding crew. Win or lose, I'm I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Reetz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shed and crew, born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shed and crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Reetz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shed and crew, born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shedding crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Reece's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shedding crew, born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright.